Thank you for coming to today's webinar. I'm Kayleigh McKnight. I'm a West End actress and I am BYMT alumni, or we used to call it YMT UK. So if I call it YMT instead of BYMT, bear with me. I am a West End actress and I was in YMT a long time ago. Probably some of you may not even been born, which is scary. So what did I do? I started in 2006 of YMT doing No Stone Unturned, and then I was in Frankenstein the following year with Ed Sheeran. So yeah, me and Ed Sheeran did YMT together. And then I did Missing Mel, and then I did The Dummy Tree, and then you were born that year. LVN, thank you for making me feel old. I loved YMT. It was a huge part of my being in theatre. So, that's kind of why I'm still associated with everything. And I really basically today just wanted to chat to you all about my journey into the industry, what advice I would give you so you could do the same, hopefully. And if you've got any questions at any point, there's a Q&A button. So I think you can click on the Q&A thing and you can put your questions in there. So I will kind of get going. And if I see anything pop up, I'll maybe stop and answer some questions throughout. Or we'll just answer them all at the end. So I have a lot to talk about, so let's start. So where did my journey to the industry begin? It started at YMT. So I didn't really do much theatre outside of school or anything. I kind of just went to school, did my thing. I did a couple of dance classes here and there, but I wasn't massively, doing loads of theatre. It was kind of when I started doing YMT or BYMT that I really started to gain confidence in what I was doing and feeling like, oh, maybe I could do this as a career because I love doing it so much. And so for me, that would be my first step into the industry was doing BYMT. So for you guys that are here in this seminar, either you've probably done a project or you're auditioning or you're interested, you're already doing the right first thing, which is starting to develop it early and learn about this at a young age. Personally, like my experience with BYMT was just the most fun, and I'm sure a lot of you would agree. I mean, yeah, let me know in the chat if you've been doing a project or if you've done it before. But I know for me, it was just the most fun. I met so many good people, like amazing shows, and it's all new material, so you feel like you're really creating something. And it really gave me confidence to kind of move towards auditioning for drama school and that kind of thing. Stella's doing it for the first time this year. Congratulations. Oh, wow, it's postponed. Yeah, so obviously a lot's been postponed this year because of Corona. But fingers crossed it'll all happen. I think it's autumn, isn't it, that's going to happen. But very exciting for you guys. And if you're interested and you've not done a project yet, or you're very excited about trying to do it, like this is the perfect first step for you, because A, you're going to get some audition experience in early on, which I think is so important. And B, you're going to get to meet other like-minded people who love performing. And I'm not just talking about the people in the cast, I'm talking about the MD and the director and the choreographer. These are all people who either work in the industry or have worked in the industry and want to help you. These people have invaluable amounts of advice. So that'd be my first tip for you guys doing YMT projects. I'm sorry, I'm like looking all over the screen because I have notes and then here and you. So I apologize. Here we go. My first piece of advice for you guys is make sure you ask as many questions as possible, whether that's from people in the cast that have done shows before and you want to get the most out of your YMT experience, or maybe it's the director and you want to say like, hey, like, I really want to go to drama school. Do you have any recommendations of where to go? Like, they're the people to ask, and they're here because they want to help you and they want to find you talent and they want to nurture you guys to potentially come and join the industry that I love so much. So if you get on a project, obviously have a great time, obviously do the best you can with the material, but use the experience to talk to people, find out what they've done, how they got to where they are, and a lot of the directors and the musical directors that I worked with on these projects, even 10, 15 years ago, are still working today, and I've worked with them professionally. I've, done shows with them in the West End, or I've, workshop shows with them because they knew me from doing YMT. And so it truly is like such a great place to meet people and begin your career in theatre, because you are already creating really great connections with people. So yeah, like already you're on the first kind of big steps of of going there. And plus also the friends you will meet are just the best people. So many people I've worked with and are friends with were YMT people. One of my best friends, his name's Gabriel McKnight. He was in the original cast of Hamilton, so I don't know if some of you know him, but he met me through YMT, and then we ended up at drama school together, and then we've become best friends, and you know, I've always supported him and he's always supported me. And obviously, you know, meeting people like Ed Sheeran, I've got loads of friends that were YMT, like Lauren Samuels I work with on Bend It Like Beckham. So yeah, there's loads of people out there that have done exactly what you're doing, the YMT projects, and going into the industry. So great first step, everyone. You're already on the way. So as I said, obviously I met Gabriel at YMT, but we then went on to go to drama school together. So for a lot of you, maybe you're a little bit older. I don't know how old you guys are, but some of you are maybe like 16, 17, some of you are a little bit younger. I think it's always a good time to start thinking about what things you enjoy doing, and then, you know, what you would want to do in the future. I always think there's such pressure on us as like teenagers and kids to kind of go, okay, you're going to university, decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. And so I think the more you can work out as a kid and as a teenager and as you're growing up, what you enjoy doing, you will find something you want to do at uni or drama school. So that was the big thing for me was do I go to university or do I go to drama school? I really didn't know. Like I loved doing theatre, but I really wasn't sure which route to go down. And I have friends that have done both. So expel the myth that you have to go to drama school to be in theatre. It's simply not true. My friend Nicole Raquel Dennis, so she is in Dear Evan Hansen right now, and she was in Dreamgirls, she was on The Voice. She did not go to drama school, and now she's super successful. So if you want to go to university and study biology because you love biology, go and do that. But if you know you really want to go and spend 3 years dancing, singing, acting, training in that, go to drama school. I think ultimately what you need to decide at this point is, what would I say, oh, I really wish I'd done that instead. My decision for me was, what am I going to go, oh, what if I'd done that to? So for me, I was like, I'm going to try and go to drama school. Now, obviously it's not that simple because you have to get into drama school, and despite having a very successful career, if I do say so myself, I didn't get into drama school the first time. I'll take a cup of tea there. I didn't get into drama school. So I auditioned at loads of different drama schools, musical theatre, straight acting, and I didn't get in. I didn't get in anywhere. Instead, I got offered a foundation course place at Lambda. So they said, you're not ready for drama school. We're gonna offer you a 1-year course. And I was very lucky that I was able to go. And I ended up going there. But I did consider taking a gap year. And I also have friends that have done that. So again, if you don't get into drama school, it is not the end of the world. Trust me, I know so many people that didn't get in that first year, or maybe they didn't get in 4 years in a row, and they still have had careers. Sometimes you need to just wait till you're a bit older. Some people do a whole university degree in something completely different, and then they hit my age, 29, and go, actually, I'm going to do a postgraduate course at RADA and become an actor. And they become actors. So myth number 2, we're going to dispel. You don't have to get into drama school first time round. You don't have to be 18 and have to train, and you have to be 21 and enter the industry at that age. You can get into the theatre industry at any age. Sure, it gets harder the older you get, but if you're meant to do it, you will do it. It's simple as that. So if you are interested in foundation courses, lots of drama schools offer them. Generally speaking, I obviously can't speak for all of them, but most foundation courses offer you, what it says on the tin, a foundation training in what drama school is, what acting is, or musical theatre. So it's kind of like doing a basic level of what your first year would be. So I did a lot of acting classes, movement work, accents, everything. And because Lambda is a straight acting school, I only did a little bit of singing and a little bit of dance. And then I found I was way more prepared for my auditions for drama school the next time around. So for me, I think I needed it because I needed to find the confidence in myself to go, oh, actually, I'm good enough for this. And I really spent time finding speeches that I really liked, finding songs I really enjoyed. And then I went into my auditions going, yeah, actually, I'm really happy with the stuff I've chosen, and I feel confident in the material, and I feel confident in my ability. Now, some of you will be confident before you've even gone to drama school, and I applaud you already, because some people just have it naturally, and I was one of those people that didn't, you know. As much as I'm a chatterbox right now and I come across really confident, I'm really not. Like, inside, I'm pretty shy and quite doubtful about myself, and it's taken me a long time to like really kind of tap into, okay, no, I'm good enough and I deserve this. So the sooner you can start tapping into that idea that you are good enough, the better. Right. Oh gosh, I've got so many notes, guys. I'm going to try and like get through it all so you can ask me lots of questions. I see there's 2 questions here, but I might come back to them. Yeah, I'm going to do Q&A at the end, but if you see questions or you think of something while I'm chatting, just add them into the Q&A and we'll come back and we'll revisit stuff. Okay. Right, so let's say you get into drama school, woohoo, and you are really nervous and you don't know what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And this is the same with uni, actually. I think this applies to both sides, no matter what you decide to do. But I'm going to talk from a drama school perspective. But everything I'm saying, you can totally take into university or anything else you decide to do, going straight into a job. So my first tip, go in 100%. And this all comes down to confidence again. You've got into drama school, like you guys got in, you beat however many people to get one of those like 30, 20, 50 places in your course. So go in there, don't be arrogant, but go in there knowing that the panel picked you. And I'm going to come back to audition technique and stuff, by the way, because I understand that that's a big thing as well. And it's obviously important for YMT and drama school. So I'll come back to the audition stuff. But let's imagine we've got in. So the panel have picked you. They want to work with you. So go in there going, okay, I'm ready to learn. I'm open to everything. And I'm going to give it 100%. There's nothing worse than feeling like you could have given it a little bit more. So take the extra classes if they're available to you. Use the resources that are there. You know, if there's a library of sheet music, maybe once a week you're going to find an extra song that you don't know to learn at home on your own time. Or, you know, find a different soundtrack on Spotify each week that you can listen to like broaden your repertoire of music. Or read a different play every week. Go to the library and get a different play out each week and try and learn something. It's so important to use the resources that you have at drama school while you've got them. Ultimately, you're paying to use it, so don't sit on it. Use and soak up as much of the experience as you can. You know, I used to go to randomly on a Sunday and practice in the studios because they were empty with my friends. We'd practice tap because I wasn't very good at tap. And, you know, I would make sure I used that time because those studios and those spaces were available to me. So it's so much harder when you're in the industry to have that time because it costs money and you need the spare time. And when you're at drama school, you have it, so use it. A bit like what I said with BYMT, ask the teachers questions. If they are working at the drama school, they've either had experience in the industry or they're currently working in the industry. A lot of times drama school bring people in to have a talk with you about certain things. So when you have workshops and when you have important lessons at drama school and you want to understand more, just ask the questions. Even if it's a case of saying to your teacher, hey, can we grab 10 minutes at lunch? I just really wanted to go into this a bit further. Teachers want to help you. They really, truly do. They wouldn't be doing the job if they didn't want to help you, or then they're terrible teachers. But I didn't have any of those, so I was very lucky. What have I said? Yeah, make the most of master classes. I've said that. Oh, this is another good one, and people don't realize this, but generally speaking, there are some theatres that do student rate tickets if you have proof that you're at drama school. I know Wicked definitely do it. So go to the theatre and make the most of cheap tickets because they're not cheap normally. So yeah, like Wicked definitely does a student rate. I know the National Theatre obviously does an under 21s rate of tickets, and the National always has brilliant stuff on. So find theatres that have student rate tickets and, you know, use that discount because, like I said, theatre's expensive, and the more theatre you can see, the more you will learn, the more you will decide what you do and don't want to do in terms of work and in terms of like where you feel you sit in the industry. So yeah, make the most of it if you can. I also said get an extra job on the weekends. So yeah, if you can and you need to, if you want to go see all these shows, it might be worth getting a second job too. So I did some teaching whilst I was at drama school. I used to teach at Theatre Train on a Saturday, and that then really put me in good stead as well for later in my career because I already had some teaching experience that I'd gained at drama school. So that's another little tip for you there. In terms of like actual drama school and what you're doing there, so obviously make the most of classes, try your best and all of that. but you will get the opportunity to play parts you would never play. You'll get the opportunity to do choreography that you'll probably never have to do in a production, because maybe you're not the best dancer in the world. I know I wasn't, but I was still having to learn choreography from Cats and, you know, a chorus line. And it allowed me to explore my limits and make mistakes. Make mistakes. That is my top tip for drama school. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just make the mistakes now. Make them at drama school while no one is judging you. Because that's exactly what drama school is there for. You know, you're there to fall out of a pirouette. So your teacher can tell you, you know why you fell out is because you were slightly off balance, and what you need to do is lift here. You know, or crack on a note, and your singing teacher can go, this is why you cracked. Whereas when you're in the industry and you're auditioning and something goes a little bit wrong, it's kind of up to you to work out what it is, and maybe you have to pay money for a singing teacher or go to a dance class to try and work out your technique. So use drama school to make mistakes. Go into things wholeheartedly and fully, so you really truly can know exactly where your limits are, how far you can go with things, how big can the performance be, how small can you make the performance. You know, it's truly an experimentation ground for you guys to try everything. So don't ever be afraid to get it wrong, basically, because you don't want to get it wrong when you're a professional, because you're being paid to do it. So drama school is totally the time to be able to get it wrong and dust yourself off and laugh at yourself, and probably have your friends laugh at you too. But that's part of it, you know, and you will come out of drama school way more confident, way more rounded as a performer. You'll have thicker skin. You'll feel like you're able to also like get good at making mistakes, because they do happen in auditions and on stage, and you have to learn to pick yourself up and carry on. So yeah, top tip for drama school, make the mistakes. What else have I said about drama school? Oh yes, so a lot of drama school will be about creating your repertoire. And that's for straight acting and musical theatre. You will either build a musical repertoire, and then you'll build a repertoire of speeches to use in auditions. Now, my big thing about this is I know that I spent a lot of time in my building a repertoire that I knew fit every single possible genre of theatre, which meant my rep was huge, and it meant that I had too many songs to learn, and it meant I was never fully comfortable with, you know, all of them. When actually, you don't need that much. You need about 4 or 5 songs you know you can pull out and you will absolutely smash it every time. And this is the same for speeches. You probably need 2 contemporary, 2 classic, and then that's it. And it should be, you'll find when you get your auditions through, when you're in your professional career, that they don't want to see a 1940s love ballad about this. Like, they are not that specific. Generally speaking, they'll ask for a pop song, or they'll ask for something slightly more legit. And that doesn't mean you have to have a full back catalogue of Rodgers and Hammerstein and Gershwin and, you know, Cole Porter. You don't have to know all of these historical musicians. You should have a knowledge of them, but you don't have to have 10 songs by them. You have maybe 1 or 2 in your rep, and then stuff you really love to sing. You should love singing every single thing in your rep folder. You should love performing every single speech, because otherwise it will read that you are focusing on the technique, or you are focusing on hitting certain points rather than fully enjoying performing it. So find songs that you really relate to and you feel like you can just immerse yourself in the performance. Same with the speech. Find a character you really, really, really relate to. It doesn't have to be super dramatic. It doesn't have to have the highest belt notes in the world. But if you show who you are and perform it so well, they will want to work with you. They will want to see more of who you are, because you are doing the song or the piece so immersed in the character and performing it with such joy that they'll go, that's someone we want to work with. You should never try and mold yourself to fit the puzzle piece, because ultimately that's not your job. That's the job of the creatives, to find the right person that fits. You're never going to fit every single thing. So make sure your repertoire and what you bring to auditions and what you use your time at drama school to find is stuff you love to sing. You know, my showcase you know, we were all bringing in musical theatre songs. I ended up singing a Radiohead song. Now, probably you guys don't know who Radiohead are, but they are like a alternative rock band from the 90s. And I sung a song of theirs called Creep. And people said like it was probably one of the best things I'd ever done. You know, because I chose something that resonated with me and I loved the song and I knew that I would be giving a performance that was representative of myself. And that always comes across more than trying to belt the highest or cry on cue. You know, choose something and use your time at drama school to find pieces and work that inspires you so you can bring that to your performances in auditions. Whew, okay, goodness me. Right. My ultimate point for drama school, other than make mistakes, is to find out who you are, which is basically what I've just been saying. If you can work out where you fit and what you enjoy in the industry, it will read instantly when you go into auditions, because you'll be slightly relaxed. You'll be more relaxed than someone who's trying to do something that they're not comfortable with. And you will feel happier in yourself knowing you're going and presenting work that you know you've done to your best ability. So always try and use that time to really try and find yourself, make those mistakes, work out where your limits are, find stuff that really, really resonates with you, and, you know, push yourself as far as you possibly can, because that is the time to truly do it. And you know what, I think I look back on my drama school time and think I could have done more. And that's why I'm saying this to you guys. You don't know your limits until you push and push and push at drama school. So use that time and work out who you are and where you fit potentially in this industry. As a side note to that, training doesn't end when drama school ends. So as much as I'm saying use that time, like that is the time to make mistakes, which is true, you will obviously keep having singing lessons. You'll go to dance classes. Like right now in lockdown, I'm doing film and TV classes over Zoom because, you know, I haven't done TV and film classes in such a long time. And, you know, work now is becoming more focused on television or taping your own auditions at home. And so I'm making sure that I'm keeping those skills, learning stuff all the time. You know, I'm 29 now, so I've been out of drama school for, like 7 years. So I'm still going for singing lessons. I'm still going for classes, you know, and I'm going to fitness classes to keep my fitness up. I'll occasionally do a dance class, and it's very important to just keep your education going. You know, read plays, watch films from the perspective of an actor and go, what are they doing here? What's this? Yeah, just keep your passion for it alive by feeding yourself new information, because ultimately school never ends. Where are we at? Oh gosh, I've got to hurry up. Right. So after you finish drama school, hopefully you found an agent. Now, normally you'll find your agent from drama school productions or showcase at the end of your third year. And it's, you know, it's a nerve-wracking process, but ultimately that's kind of the general route if you're at drama school. Now, some of you won't go to drama school. Some of you will maybe go to university, or like me, I got an agent straight out of drama school. I was with them for a year and then they dropped me. So I had to find an agent again with I had no work on my CV and I had really nothing to show for myself. So it's a similar position to being out of uni and going like, what do I do? Now, the first thing you can do is speak to your friends and colleagues. Now, that is the way I found a new agent. So I got chatting to different friends and I said, okay, who knows an agent that might potentially be interested in working with new people and stuff. So I basically did that to begin with. Then also you can use, because I've had 3 agents now, which is not normal, but I've, you know, had to work to find the right one. Another way of doing it, and this is how I found my last agent, who I'm still currently with, is use a production that you are currently in, or get into a lower paid, like you have what equity call the low pay fringe theatre productions. Now, they're still not easy jobs to get, but if they're easier to get if you're not represented, because you can self-submit for a lot of those jobs. And they're things that like venues like the Union Theatre and the Hope Mill Theatre, and they tend to do open calls. So open calls is the best way to get into those kind of productions. And you can invite agents to come and see you and things like that. And that's another way of showing an agent who you are as a performer. And, you know, ask around colleagues. If you're in a production and you want new representation. Speak to your friends that you're in a show with and say like, hey, is your agent coming to see this? I'd be really interested to meet with your agent or whatever. So yeah, on I can't even speak. On another note, make sure you do your research. Don't just email everyone, because they might not suit you. I know that Jimmy Jewell was on here doing a chat about agents, and I think he said the same kind of thing. Like, you need to find out what agent suits you. So go on the websites and see what their clients what work their clients have done, and see if they're going to fit with you. Ultimately, agents work with you. Now, I don't like the term of, oh, your agent works for you, because I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the client-agent relationship is a partnership, so you guys need to work with each other. Now, what this means is that you should freely be able to chat to your agent. Now, a lot of people think that they have to be like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, like, oh, this went wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Your agent and you should be a team. You should both be working to create your career as well as you can, because then they earn money, ultimately. And so you should be able to speak openly and freely with each other. If you're not happy with the roles you're being put up for, you have to say something to your agent. If your agent will tell you if they're not happy with what's going on. So you need to feel free to do the same. So make sure you have an agent who you trust and you feel like you can freely communicate with. So yeah, that's what I'm just looking back at my notes. So when you get meetings with agents and you're trying to work out who to sign with, hopefully you've had like 10 offers from different agents and they're all brilliant. And you're choosing who you want to be represented by. That should be your number one thing. Do you have a comfortable feeling with this person? Do you feel like you could call them up, and say, hey, like, not heard from you in a while, but just thought I'd check in, like, just how are you? Let's catch up. I call my agent and, we'll have a catch up maybe once every month or a couple of weeks. And, especially in lockdown, there's not really much happening. So we sit and chat about my cat and what I've been watching on Netflix at the minute. And that's the relationship I have with him, because I know that if something's going to come up, we can freely talk about that as well as have a friendly relationship. So make sure you have that kind of relationship with your agent where you feel that you can talk to them about your worries and your concerns, because ultimately they are your support network in this industry. I had a bit of a tough time on a job recently, and I had to rely on him in an emotional way because he understood it from a professional perspective. And if I hadn't had that support, I think I would have struggled even more. So I really stress, you have to be able to communicate with your agent in an honest and open way. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, but in terms of communication with your agent, do not badger them and ask how many auditions you've been up for and what parts and blah, blah, blah. You have to have an element of trust. They trust that you're going into the audition and doing your best job. You've got to trust that they're submitting you for the right roles. And if you truly feel like you're not being represented in the right way, call them up and ask. But just don't do it every week. Don't call them after every audition and be like, hi, so let me give you a rundown. Just keep it open and keep it relaxed. What else do I need to know? Oh yeah, so other little kind of professional new things for you to think about when you're straight out of the industry. Headshots are super important. So they're your photo, they are what represent how you look in the biz. I don't know why I'm doing this. They are the first thing a casting director will see when they're casting a show. So your headshot should A, look like you, B, be well lit and colorful, like clear color. Black and white was a real thing about 10 years ago, but now it's all about color headshots because most stuff happens on screen. So color headshots, nice and clear, just your head and shoulders. It doesn't need to be super dramatic and posed. You don't have to be giving it, just a nice natural shot. Do your research, have a look around for lots of different headshot photographers. You've got some that charge 400 quid. You can have 8 different outfits and they'll send you 50 photos. You've got some that charge £100. You get one photo, you spend an hour there. There's a huge range of photographers. Just do your research. There's Facebook groups. There's a Facebook group called The Hustle, which is for performers, and loads of headshot photographers put their information on there. So when it comes to it, when you're like 20 and you're coming to the end of drama school, that's a good place to look. But also your drama schools will tend to have people that they'll recommend. So having a CV, I would say, is important. Obviously, lots of people sign up to a platform called Spotlight, which is an audition platform, and your agents will submit you for auditions through that, or you can submit yourself if you're not represented by an agent. So your CV will be on there, but I also think it's quite nice to have your own version of a CV. I've made my own on a web app called Canva, and so it's quite colourful and it's got my photo on it, and I use that when I'm potentially looking for teaching work, or maybe I'm applying for a singing gig. So sometimes it's nice to have your own version too. So that's another thing to have a little think about, but not super important. Okay, we're almost there, guys. What time are we on? Okay, we're at 12:30. I'm going to hurry up, and then we've got 6 questions so far. We've got this. Okay, let me just have some tea. I hope you're all taking notes, because I am absolutely talking like 400 miles per hour to get this all in. Okay, so you've done BYMT and you're super confident, and then you go from there, you audition for drama school because you're amazing, and then you get in, and then after drama school you do showcase, you nail it and get an agent, and then dun, 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 you have to start auditioning. Obviously this whole section is applicable to auditioning for BYMT, auditioning for drama school. So I'm going to talk about it from a professional sense, but I will try and relate it to both. So when you get your agent emailing you or calling you up saying like, hey, I've got a meeting for you. Let's say you're going to meet Jim Arnold for Wicked, and you're going to be in for the role of Elphaba. I've sent you the breakdown. Have a look. Just let me know if you're available. So usually your agent will send you what is called the breakdown. And it's basically like a character description of what you're auditioning for. Now, obviously with shows like Wicked, where you know the parts, you're like, oh, okay, I know that. I've seen Wicked 4 times, so I know what that role is. But sometimes you won't. And also sometimes you don't know, you might think you know what the part is, but what they are looking for is more important. So read what that breakdown says and use that information to help you with your audition. So sometimes the breakdown will be like tall female, the end. Obviously that's not helpful, but say we've got Elphaba for Wicked, it'll say feisty but has a big heart and just wants to feel loved, right? That's so much information for you, for your character. So try and use that. If you get recalled with the material, use that tiny little tidbit of information, because that is going to be super helpful for you in forming a character when you have to do material and auditions. So yeah, make sure you read the character description, make sure you double check that what they've asked you to bring. So this is the point where they'll say, we just need you to bring one of your own songs, just bring a pop rock song or a musical theatre song in any style, which is always a bit annoying. So if it's that general, make sure you have a listen to the soundtrack and see if you can find something similar. Maybe listen to stuff by the same composer, or find stuff that's in the kind of same genre. Like, for example, with Wicked, for example, I would audition for Wicked with a song from Carrie the musical, because it's a very similar character, kind of got a big heart and, and a bit feisty. And the music in there is very similar style, kind of poppy, rocky, belty. Sometimes they will say to you, hey, here's all this material we want you to learn. Please learn pages 3, 5, and 7, and this song from bar here to here. Make sure you definitely read and learn the pages specified and the music specified. Double check all of that information. And then make sure you learn it well, learn it so you know it well enough that you can look away from the page. You don't have to walk in holding the sides. However, I'm such a contradiction. Don't learn it in such a way that you are unable to change your performance. Because most directors will see how you present the material and then they'll go, cool, I want you to do it completely the opposite way. And they'll just give you a weird direction just to see how you take direction. So be prepared to be flexible in the way that you do your material. And this is the same for drama school, actually. You might go in with a speech you've done 10 times at loads of different drama schools. And then the acting teacher goes, okay, I'm loving what you're doing and it really suits the character, but let's just try it like this. I want you to try it like you are, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but something totally opposite. So be flexible in the way that you present your material, because it may be, you have to do it totally different. So keep an open mind. Right. Practically, in terms of just before you go in the room, you'll probably be sat there outside the room or stood there outside the room holding your little rep folder like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Take a breath. Take a long breath. Breathe in through your nose. Just breathe it out. And if you have to do that a couple of times, that's fine. If everyone else is having a good old chin wag and talking about what they had for lunch, that's fine. You don't have to join in with that. If you focus on what you need to do before you go in the room. For me, I have to be pretty quiet. I have to take a little moment for myself, have a little bit of stretch. I tend to go in the bathroom, double check how I look, you know, and have like a little quick siren. But take a moment just for yourself right before you go in that room. Just focus on what you're going to be doing, and just because you want to let go of any negative and nervous energy that you're holding on to. You're already going to be nervous, of course, and the moment you walk in, those nerves are going to come back up. But if you start here and then it ends up here, you want to start here, breathe it out a little bit, and then come back to here. I hope that makes some sense. Just take time, because you will feel nervous. I still get nervous doing auditions. It's because you care about the outcome. So ultimately, you will always feel nervous, I think, to some degree. It will get better, but it won't ever really go away unless you're incredibly confident, which, as we've already learned, I am not. Sorry, tea break. Okay, so you've gone into your audition, you've had a little calming breath, and you've walked in, you've said hi to the panel. Hi there, what can I do for you? And they're like, all right, let's hear your music. So you walk to the piano and you've got your rep folder. Now, you have to prep your sheet music. That means if you're not keeping it in the folder, it needs to be taped up so it opens up like this. So you've got all the pages that kind of do this. I'm sure you know what I mean. If you don't, drop me a Q&A question and I'll try and explain it, or I'll find some sheet music. Or just put it in your folder, obviously with the pages either way. If you have a cut, make it clear. Write it in with pen, highlight it, make that really obvious, and then talk through the tempo with your pianist really, really clearly, because that stuff's important and they want to help you too. Also, the panel want you to do well. That is my number one thing that I always remind myself. The people sat in the panel either want to cast you in the job or they want to give you a place at drama school. They really, really, really want you to do well. So don't think that they're against you. Even if they look tired or bored or over it, it's probably because they've been sat there all day. So don't take it personally. Just go in that room. Know that if you walk in and do a good job, they want to be able to go, that's our girl or that's our guy. They're the one we want. So take comfort in that. You could be that person. So just relax. They want you to do well. And yeah, with that in mind, this is your performance. You are controlling the room at this point. So don't give them the power in a way. They are your audience. Of course, they have the ability to give you a job or give you a place at drama school, but they are your audience and they want to enjoy it. So if they feel confident that you are commanding the space, the energy, and it's your time to shine, they're ultimately going to relax, and then they're going to really see your performance. So use it as a chance to be like, okay, thank you so much. Let's go. And I'm going to sing for you guys now. You know, like that's for me a way I get around it too. But ultimately, let it all go. If you work yourself up, it's very unlikely you'll perform well. Yeah, okay, so here's an example for you. So I auditioned for Wicked a few years ago and had a final for Elphaba and was completely nervous because I totally taught myself up in the audition. I was like, oh my God, this is the biggest audition I've ever had. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The whole time through, I didn't breathe. I wasn't prepared. Like I was prepared, but I wasn't feeling good about myself, and I was stressed and I was worried about everything. I went in there and I completely ruined it. I was rubbish. And I walked out and I cried because it was terrible. Why? Because I'd let the pressure get to me. I didn't do any calming breaths. I didn't just sit and remember that they want me to do well. I didn't walk into the room and go, okay, welcome to my performance. You're going to watch me now. Obviously, I didn't say that. Don't say that, guys. I mean, just mentally say it to yourself. And so I went and I crumbled. Whereas, obviously, I've just been on tour with Hugh Jackman, and that's a huge audition. That's a massive audition. But I went in and I was like, you know what? They either want me or they don't. I'm up against big competition. It's a huge job. I really want it, but I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to let it all go. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to do the best I can do. I'm going to remember that they are here to see me and they want me to do well. And you know what? I got the audition because I didn't give myself insane amounts of pressure. The pressure's still there, but it's there in a healthy way. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go quicker. Right. 5 more minutes and then I'm going to ask questions. Okay, so when you get into the biz, there's a few jobs you might do. So just obviously, there's West End work, lovely. West End jobs, national tours, we all know what they are. They're the big, big, big jobs in the theatre world. They're incredibly tough. The hours are long. It's hard work, but when you do get to it, it's obviously such an honour and a privilege. So if you do manage to get those jobs, make the most of every second, make the most of every moment of it. You know, obviously I've been in Les Mis, which is just like a bucket list show for so many people, myself included. I cried when I got the job, I got the phone call, and I made sure that every single moment of it, I made sure I loved it and enjoyed it. Every performance I did fully. Same with being on tour with you. I made the most of every single performance because it's not forever. You know, there's a year-long contracts or 6-month contracts. So you have to make the most of every performance. So if you get those jobs, take it with both hands and give it your all. Before that, or maybe you'll be lucky and go straight in. I mean, I didn't. I spent a year working in a hospital. So that's another thing to remember. You will do other work aside from acting. So I've worked in a hospital, I've worked for a hedge fund, I've been a teacher, I've been a teaching assistant, I've done all the things. So be prepared to do the other work, you know, join a temp agency and be a receptionist, or, you know, be a barista in a coffee shop or a bartender. They're all things. There's nothing to turn your nose up to, because that is the work we have to do to get by when we're not acting. You know, I work doing marketing for a theatre company right now, and 6 months ago I was performing at arenas in Australia. So guys, it happens to all of us, and it's really, really important to keep your feet on the ground and remember that that work is so important too. Do that to 100% of your ability, because you will be happier in the long run. Okay, other performing work you might do. Profit share work, I don't think exists as much anymore, but they now have what they call lower paid theatre work, which is generally fringe work. I kind of mentioned it before. The audition processes tend to be more open, so more people can apply, and it's lower paid work, so you'll tend to have to do a day job at the same time. But it's a great way to like hone your craft in a professional setting. You can meet people that are professionals in the industry, and you can invite agents to things like this, and they'll probably come. So always good. Touring obviously is an option, and also, like, remember, you have no idea where this world will take you. I had no idea I'd be on tour with Hugh Jackman as a featured singer, ever. Like no one plans for a job like that, you know. I watched The Greatest Showman and was like, oh my god, I love this, and then got an audition for the tour and was like, oh, I probably won't get it, and then ended up performing at the O2 for a week with Hugh. So I think the best thing about this whole industry is that you truly have no idea what's going to happen. So embrace the unexpected. Embrace that, like, you could end up winning an Oscar. Like, I could win an Oscar. We don't know yet. So embrace that possibility that truly anything is possible. Like, truly, guys, I cannot stress it enough. Anything is possible. All I have ever done is do ensemble work in the West End, and then I was singing solos in arenas across the world. So your career can do this. There is no straight path. This is what I'm saying. This was my journey to the business, but this will not be yours. And I'm giving you as much advice about my experience, but I can guarantee it that your experience will not be entirely the same. However, hopefully from this chat, you've taken little bits of information that will help you when you reach certain points of your journey. Yes. So I hope that has helped. I've talked a lot. So let me get to these questions now, because there's 8 of you. Right. Stella, I'm planning to apply for both unis and drama schools this year to see which one I want. Do you think I should trust my gut and decide which one I want once I fill out my UCAS and do my auditions? Yes. I did exactly the same thing, Stella. And I got into university and I got into drama school, and I sat and I was like, right, what one do I want to do? I mean, I got into drama school, I got into the foundation course. And I actually sat down with one of my teachers, and we wrote a pros and cons list of both. And then I sat, and like I said, my big kind of thing that swung it for me was me going, what if I'd gone to drama school? That was it for me. I think for me, like, the possibilities for that were so wild that I just wanted to go with that. And I think I just knew like you said, I knew in my gut that I really wanted to try it. So yeah, I would say apply for both, and then weigh it up properly. Like, make sure you have the funding, make sure you can afford to go, like, all these, like, take those practical things into account. But, like, you know yourself, Stella, like, what you want to do, and you will once you've visited the establishments. Like, go to the open days at both unis and drama school, because I did all of it, and then you'll know what you want to do. Hope that's helped. Thank you, Stella. Michelle, What would you say is the most difficult / negative aspect of the theatre industry? Again, I think I've just touched on it. It's quite antisocial in a way. So it's quite, yeah, sometimes you've got weddings that you want to go to for family and you can't go, or, you know, you've got, I don't know, you've got friends that all want to go on holiday together and you have to say no because you've got West End Live at the weekend or something, which is obviously amazing, but it's not quite as flexible as some other jobs. And that would be my only downside, because obviously I'm happy that I'm doing the job I'm doing. Also, rejection's pretty hard. Like, rejection is tough. If you guys have auditioned for anything else aside from BYMT and maybe not made the cut, it's hard, but it gets easier. I think the positives for me outweigh the negatives, but you've got to make your own mind up on that. I hope that's answered what you wanted. Neve, one thing that really knocks my confidence is favoritism, whether it be at dance in a theatre company or choir. I constantly watch the same people get recognition, and it's been like that since I've been about 10. I'm 15 now. I'm slowly regaining confidence this year after places elsewhere such as BYMT, but how can I stop the obvious favoritism from getting to me? Sorry, this is so long, haha. Right, so this is something you will come up against your career the whole time. There's always going to be favourites. There's always going to be favourites at drama school, at dance school, at BYMT maybe. I don't know. I know they try not to, so maybe not. But in the industry, yes, the same people get jobs all the time. Like, it's just a fact of life. And ultimately, you know, when our directors work with someone, they really like them, they'll employ them again. It's just the way it goes. And I think for me, how I get past that is reminding myself of my achievements and what I am happy with. Ultimately, you're still at dance school or theatre company where you live right now. When you go to drama school, it'll be totally different. And also, the people that are the favourites at drama school are not necessarily the people that will succeed. The people that are favourites at your theatre company are not the people that will get into BYMT and get to meet all you lovely people. You know, that's one person's opinion of a group of people. So don't let that affect you negatively. I know it feels big because right now you're still at this theatre company and you want to be getting the parts and the same people getting stuff, but that's not forever. It's not forever. Just like on jobs, you know, certain people will maybe be given more than you. It's one job. And that's, unfortunately, that's just the kind of fact of life. It happens in all careers. It's not just in our one, unfortunately. So take stock of your achievements and hold on to those, because other people will see the value in you if you see the value in yourself. Namaste. I hope that makes sense. Have you ever struggled with body confidence? If so, how do you get over it? This is such a good question. Yes. I've just been on tour with a bunch of size 0 dancers, and I'm a size 14 to 12. So I'm 5'10" almost, and I'm pretty curvy. And I had a costume designer say he didn't know how to dress me for one of the numbers because he didn't work with women my size, which is fine. That was his truth in the situation. Obviously destroyed me for about 10 minutes. And then I realized, actually, I'm not going to look like those girls. And I'm pretty happy with my body. I shouldn't let someone else's opinion of me affect the way I feel. Now, I know that for me, with body confidence, I feel better when I'm working out, when I'm making sure I'm taking care of myself, I'm getting enough sleep, I'm having water, I'm eating well, I'm not having pizza every night. Now, I love pizza. My love of pizza knows no bounds, but if I've had pizza 3 nights in a row, then I'm not treating myself very well. So ultimately, the way to get over the body confidence stuff is to start treating yourself with the respect you deserve. Maybe that means going and doing a dance class once a week, or doing a HIIT workout. You know, right now I've been doing loads of stuff on Instagram because there's loads of live classes on Instagram. So maybe go and explore doing some dance classes on Instagram, and that might help you because you feel like you're working your body and you're feeling how strong you are and how amazing you move and how beautiful you look when you do that thing. So find ways that make you feel good about yourself, feel how strong you are or how strong you're getting. You know, I'm not like, look at my weak little arms, but I'm stronger than I've been in weeks because I've been working out. So those are the things that will build your body confidence. Loads of love. Never feel down on yourself. Love yourself, Neve. Sophia, how do you find the right agent for you? Again, so we've kind of touched on this. It's all about having the open conversation to begin with. Make sure you feel like you are able to have an open and honest conversation. Double check what their clients have been doing before. you know, go on their website and see what kind of work their clients are getting, because that will also show you, are they more telly? Are they more musicals? Do they do this? Do they do that? Yeah. But you will know when you have that meeting if your relationship is going to be right. You want a nice, fair, open and honest relationship. I hope that makes sense. Stella, what shows that you've been in are your favourites? I love doing Jesus Christ Superstar at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre, purely because it was an open air theatre, like how fun. And also the show itself, the music in it, oh, it's just chef's kiss, delicious, the best. And you know, it pushed me dance-wise, because I'm not a dancer, but I can dance, you know. I think I've danced in almost every show I've been in apart from Les Mis. So I was never a dancer, and then I've ended up with all these dancing ensemble roles. So it can happen, guys. But yeah, I loved the show for that reason too. It really pushed me in what I thought I could do, which is why I say you get out of drama school, the industry is still an education, always. Thank you, Stella. What would you say was the most valuable experience training you've received to prepare you for your career? Ooh, Eliza, what a great question. So I was a swing in Bend It Like Beckham the musical. That was my first West End job, and I got a job as a swing and a second cover to the lead role. And I had to learn 14 tracks, and I was terrified because it was my West End debut. It was a dancing show with football, and I'd never covered a lead role. I'd never been a swing, and I was having to learn all these parts. And that for me was one of the biggest professional learning experiences of my life, and I'm so glad I did it early on, because it meant I had so much more respect for swings in the industry. It meant that I fully understand what it takes to like understand a show, and it gave me a better perspective of everything that's going on. So now when I'm in the ensemble and I've just got my own track to play, I'm way more aware of what other people are doing, and then I feel like I can help navigate things if things go wrong. And it's just a very good lesson in dealing with pressure and understanding how to manage that so that you don't freak out. Because there is a lot of pressure there. You are basically filling in all the gaps on stage, and if it goes wrong and you're not in your position because you've forgotten, that's not good. You know, you're not doing your job properly. So it was a very steep learning curve, and I had to learn very, very quickly, but I did. And it was very stressful, and there was a few tears shed, but it was totally worth it. And yeah, definitely a great experience. So if you ever see a swing on stage in a musical, they are royalty because they have learned every single ensemble track and probably learned some of the lead tracks too. So if you see a swing on stage, extra hard applause because they're amazing. Neve, I'm considering doing biology, chemistry and maths at A-level. Wow. After year 11, because I'm very academic, despite my real passion being with the arts. Do you think this would be a good idea? Yes. The answer is yes, Neve. I did history, business studies, drama and English literature, and then I applied for English literature at university. My school wanted me to apply for Oxford and Cambridge. So I totally understand where you're coming from. And yes, do the stuff you really enjoy, because ultimately you're going to enjoy doing your exams if you're enjoying those subjects. So do biology, chemistry and maths because you're good at them. And also very amazing to have a maths A-level, so just do it. And then, you know, just keep doing your dance classes and your theatre stuff outside of school. You don't have to do it in school. But good on you, Neve, amazing. Jasmine, did you ever think that you wouldn't make it? I wasn't able to afford classes growing up, and it makes me worry that I won't get anywhere. Yes, is the answer. I was so I came out of drama school, and loads of my friends came out of drama school and they got a job and they, whatever. And I got a great agent from drama school. I was very lucky. And then I had to move home because I couldn't get any performing work. I worked in a hospital for a year and as a receptionist, and was auditioning and not getting a job. And then my agent dropped me, and I was like, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. I was like, I thought I had it, but maybe I don't. And I don't know what it is, a little voice in my head just said, just keep going. And you will have to do the extra jobs to try and earn the money to do the classes. I feel your pain there, I've been there. If you really, really want to do it, go and do those classes, but just find your way of getting there. If you have to do your day job and then a little extra evening job or some teaching at the weekends, like try and take it. I did it at drama school. I did my teaching on the weekends so that I could afford to do extra stuff. So do what you can within your means, obviously, like don't go beyond that. But you don't have to do every single class in the world to be successful either. There is so much stuff online on YouTube. Just watching people on Netflix in movies and TV is invaluable education in how to do stuff. So there's ways of doing things as well that mean you don't have to fork out loads of money. But yes, you've got to believe in yourself. Like you've got to hold that to yourself. But Jasmine, good luck. I believe in you. Sydney. Okay, I've got 3 questions. These are going to be the last ones because I'm about to run over. But thank you all. These have been great questions. Sydney, how important do you think flexibility, as in the body, is within musical theatre? Even if you'd rather have more of a principal role rather than an ensemble, I really struggle with my flexibility and feel like I'm put down for it, although I work very hard to become more flexible. Sydney, I am not flexible. Like, at all. And I've been in dancey shows. I've just been on a podcast about embarrassing auditions where I talked about an audition where I had to do a handstand into the splits. I can't do the handstand or the splits. And I just basically fell in a heap on the floor. Now, I didn't get that job, surprisingly. But has it been important in the industry? No. Like, actually, I'm not the best dancer out there. There are definitely better dancers out there than me who have done jobs that I have done. I am not beyond that fact. However, do I know that I put in a hell of a lot of performance when I do it because I'm not going to kick myself in the face and I'm not going to land in the splits? Yes. If you can sell a performance from the way you are dancing rather than just because you can kick yourself in the face, that is way more valuable to someone casting a musical. Being flexible is not the be all and end all. Yeah, it may mean you're not going to be the white cat in Cats. It may mean you're not going to be in a chorus line. But could you be in something like Wicked? Yes. Could you be in something like Tina the Musical? Yes. Could you be in Jesus Christ Superstar with Drew McConey as a choreographer? Yes. Like, all of these things are possible, but you have to find ways to make yourself move that is exciting for people to watch. So you can't kick yourself in the face, but how do you move and how do you perform that still sells that dance number? That's what you need to work on. But flexibility is not the be all and end all at all. In saying that, if you are flexible and can kick yourself in the face, don't just rely on the fact you can kick yourself in the face. You've got to kick yourself in the face and then perform it too, because that's more important, as I just said. Anyway, lovely question, Sydney. Thank you. Carrie, how do you deal with rejection in the industry? The honest answer to this is generally chocolate, a good Netflix series, and if I really wanted the job, a little bit of a cry. But you're allowed to feel sad if you've been rejected for a job, but at the end of the day, it's part and parcel, and the more you get rejected, the easier it gets. Sometimes it's hard because you really wanted that job. And yeah, you do want to have a little cry, and that is allowed. Or maybe you go and buy yourself a really, really large, filthy hot chocolate or something like that straight after the audition. That's allowed. And I think for me, my advice for that is do the one thing you know is going to make you feel good, as long as it's not, going to harm you in any way. Don't drink 4 bottles of wine. Like, that's not the right way to do it. But can you have a tub of ice cream and a cry? Yes. And also remember that everyone is being rejected in the industry. It's not just you. Don't take it personally. There's only 30 roles, 1,000 people have auditioned, so that means there's 970 of you that have all been rejected. You're not alone. Eat the ice cream. Okay, last question. Thank you, Carrie. Neve, this is a bit random, but does having braces affect your chances of doing theatre? I mean, no. A, the audience is so far away, they're never going to see it. B, I don't think so. Unless it's affecting the way you speak. But I should imagine that if you're... Oh, my washing is done, everyone. If it's affecting the way you speak, you're going to have to work on that in terms of like S's and things like that. So maybe it would be worth seeking a vocal coach. But no, as a visible thing, no, it's not going to affect the way you're viewed, I don't think. Not for any work that you'd want to do anyway. Because if they really, really care about that, then... Also, braces aren't permanent, I don't think. So hopefully it would be something that you wouldn't have to worry about for too long. But yeah, I wouldn't stress about it. Okay, guys. Whew, we did it. I got through all 16 of your questions and my absolutely massive chat. Thank you all so much. This has been really, really lovely. And I'm sorry that I ran over by 5 minutes, but you're all brilliant. Thank you so much for turning up and listening. I hope it's been helpful. Thank you so much for giving me the questions and chatting in the comments. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm sorry that it's raining. Not that it's my fault, but yeah, you've all been brilliant. Cheers. Thank you so much, guys.